As a 3D artist, when you go outside, do you ever look at a building or a car and say in your head, yeah, I could model that? But when you get to your workstation, you tell yourself, nah, it's too much work, and end up getting a model off the internet? That, my friend, makes you a professional asset placer.
Got him! Got him!
Don't worry, I'm a professional asset placer too. Oh, until recently when I had to make my 3D environment show reel. If you haven't checked that out, it's revolutionary. So please check it out. Please. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I mean, overall, my show reel was well received, but the main criticism I kept getting back was that my 3D models were lacking intricate details. This week, I decided to challenge myself with some hard surface modeling. And what better than a gun scope? It's cool, it's edgy, and it's pretty much in every game. I think this would be an amazing way to display my asset making skills for games and films to future employers and show how versatile I am. And yes guys, this isn't clickbait. I'm a noob at hard surface modeling. Well, to an extent. I've been using 3D software for 1.5 years now, and I've made multiple projects. But rarely do I model more complex stuff because I think it's time consuming, and usually that's the case. I usually try and finish most of my projects in 1 week or less so that I can condition myself to work in the industry. And if you're a recruiter watching this video, hi there. My biggest weakness is that I work so hard I even forget to blink.
Got the cap.
For reference images, I usually go on Pinterest and get a bunch of images related to what I'm making. There are tons of tools to help you with organizing images in some kind of clipboard. I use PureRef, which is at this point everyone's go-to tool. It's free, it's really easy to use, and here's all the reference I used. I know one image might not seem to be enough reference, but I felt pretty confident that I could use this one image and still make something impressive. Here is what I rendered compared to my reference. Yeah, it's not really one-to-one scale, but I modded this in 15 hours, plus I got college. That takes up a chunk of my time. And oh yeah, stay till the end of the video to see the sick animation I actually made for this gun scope. This is usually the time when artists set primitive shapes as placeholders before they begin modeling in more detail. I mean, I did this to an extent, then I decided to do my own thing.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
Like for example here, I decided to go more into detail with the laser pointer. At least that's what I think it is. I don't know. Okay, so this might confuse some people, but all I did here was a grid fill. Then I poked the faces. Then I selected the vertex in the middle of one of the faces. Then I selected a similar amount of adjacent faces from the selection tab in the top left of the 3D viewport. Once the vertices are selected, enable individual origins and press Shift Ctrl B to make circular faces, which I then extruded inside. If this is confusing, there are tons of 1 to 3 minute tutorials on YouTube explaining how to do this. If you see any sudden pauses in the time lapse, that means I'm watching a tutorial. I can't stress how useful tutorials are. You probably already know this anyway. There are tons of good tutorials out there for hard surface modeling, but for my case, most of them use add-ons for hard surface modeling. And the point of this project is to see how good I can make this scope without external add-ons, only Blender add-ons, you know, like loop tools. Oh yeah, and I have to point out, this isn't a tutorial, this is just a time-lapse displaying the challenges I faced along the ways and the stuff I learned on this journey of mine. For example, I never knew I had to flip normals if I'm going to texture in external software like Substance Painter, or even how to decimate faces so that I could make cool diamond patterns. The fancy indents you see on the body of the scope was made with the Boolean modifier. I get the feeling that I should never do it like this, but this is the whole point of the video. I'm a noob modeling. Okay, now it's time to really display my skill level regarding hard surface modeling. I went more into detail in this period. I used simple shapes like cuboids, cylinders, and toruses to make boolean cutouts on my main mesh. That's how I get those cool indents and engravings. Actually, for the engraved letters and numbers, I use texts that I convert to meshes, then extrude their faces to give them some actual height. So when I make boolean cutouts, they have some depth to them. For some of the labels on the scope, I just combine the converted texts with the mesh using Ctrl+J. This project took more than 15 hours to make, so this is just going to be a time lapse at like 100x speed. But if you guys want like a more detailed time lapse or just a more detailed tutorial on how I do this kind of stuff, just leave a comment and I'll probably almost likely read them. So yeah. Okay, to make more realistic cables, I used a Bezier carve, which I extruded and rotated a couple of times to give it that realistic bend you get from cables. I increased the depth and resolution of the carve to give it that look that cables have. But if you look back at the reference, the cable is flat, so I had to convert the carve to a mesh, then I scaled it along the respective axis in order to make it look flatter. Oh yeah, and this is the cool diamond pattern I was talking about earlier.
Let's get scratching.
I did a lot of stuff off screen in order for this video to be 10 minutes or less. I don't want this video taking up a lot of your time, especially because it's not a tutorial. You're probably going to pick a thing or two from this video, but not as much as you would from an actual tutorial. This video is more to display my skill set and for entertainment. I did the lighting off camera too, but all I did was set up some studio lighting. I textured some of the parts of this model in Substance Painter. I actually ended up using my college computer because my Adobe license doesn't work on my home PC. Surprisingly, the school PCs aren't that bad. Like for example, my college PC specs are an RX 7800 and an Intel Core i9 14th gen. Oh yeah, and also if you're enjoying this video, I would appreciate you liking it. If you have any inquiries at all, just leave them in the comment section. I'm currently working on a fan-made Spider-Verse 3D animation. If you'd like to see this, let me know. I also post weekly 3D animations on my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube shorts. You can find the links to my accounts down below in the description. I post mostly on TikTok, but like if you're American, I don't know, maybe I should start posting on Rednote too. Anyways, here's the rendered animation. So that's the video guys, hopefully you liked it. There are definitely stuff I would have done better, but given my time frame of less than a week, I think I did really good. I will be posting a different edit of the final render on my TikTok, Instagram, and other platforms if you want to check that out. Link in the description. If you guys like this kind of content, let me know and I'll be consistent with my uploads. At least I'll try. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. My name is Ashley. See you next time.